I noticed something. I want to put this in your mind. Where is Candace Owens going next? A lot of you all have been wondering, like, why is she, you know, basically asking for lawsuits left, right, and center? She keeps doing it. She keeps doing what's getting her sued. Why does she keep doing that? I think I know what she's going to do next. So I'm going to look at these two articles that kind of explain what happened in court today. And then we'll pull up the video that I believe explains, or at least gives us a pretty decent roadmap for what's going to be her next play, if you will. And if you watched her last week and the week previous, she's been kind of posing this theory out there already. So let's get at it. Grace and peace to everybody. I really appreciate all of y'all for jumping in. I appreciate y'all jumping in. I know this was not necessarily announced, but I did tell y'all as soon as something was clear, I was going to jump back up on these here internet. And I got to do what I said I was going to do, jump back up here on the Lord's internet and talk about this, because I think this is going to be super interesting. So let's go ahead real quick. Candace Owens trades legal blues. And both of these links are going to be down in the description, and the video we're going to look at as well, with Macron's over transgender accusations. Owens has repeatedly asserted that scant evidence that France's first lady is transgender woman, saying she would stake her entire professional reputation on it. Yeah, I think she told us exactly how far she was going to go on this. That was the statement. That was not just a hyperbole. That was not just a throwaway statement. She meant that thing. And she has full intention of going. I think she has full intention of her entire career being hinged on this. Let's keep it going. Far-right political commentator Candace Owens. I'm never gonna refer to her as a far-right anything anymore. I don't even care if it says it in the article. I'm gonna ignore that moving forward. She's not a conservative. She's not a far-right. She's not a Republican. She's not. No, I'm never gonna say that again. So political commentator Candace Owens on Monday asked the Delaware judge to dismiss the defamation claims against her, filed by French Prime Minister Emmanuel Macron and his wife over accusation that France's first lady is a transgender woman. Owens first claimed French's first lady, Brigitte Macron, was assigned to be a male at birth and later transitioned to a female identity in March 2024, telling her audience that she would stake her entire professional reputation on it. Brigitte Macron and Emmanuel demanded Owens retract her claims, offering documents that they said would prove Brigitte is a cisgender. I don't even like that. Is a woman. I don't even like, I'm sorry. Y'all can have that. If you want to die on that hill, knock yourselves out. I'm not using cisgender, nothing. That Brigitte Macron is a woman. In response, Owens doubled down, releasing an 8-part series asserting several baseless claims against the couple, including that Brigitte was assigned male at birth, that she stole a woman's identity and became Brigitte, and that Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron are related to one another, and that in an incestuous relationship. You know, one thing she needs to say, like, she argues that Brigitte Macron is her brother. They need to say that part. That part was crazy town. You gotta make that a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's interesting because they don't say anything about Brigitte Macron grooming Emmanuel, which I think is probably a much more damning commentary, in my opinion. The Macrons sued Owens and 2 affiliate media groups, Candace Owens LLC and George Tom Inc. in July 2025, claiming Owens lied about them to increase her viewership. These claims are demonstrably false, and Owens knew that they were false when she published them. The Macrons wrote an amended complaint, yet she published them anyway. And the reason is clear. It's not the pursuit of truth, it's the pursuit of fame. Even still, Owens has continued to add to her story. Since the Macrons filed suit, Owens has additionally asserted that Brigitte Macron participated in the infamous 1971 Stanford prison experiment and that the Macrons were orchestrating an assassination attempt on her. Owens also sells merchandise accusing Emmanuel Macron of being a gay man. Standing in front of Delaware Judge Sheldon K. Renee Monday morning, Owens' attorney Chad M. Chandler ridiculed the lawsuit as legally meritless and as an assault on freedom of speech. However, almost none of the arguments for dismissal even mention the case's merits. That's going to be interesting. Instead, Chandler repeatedly pointed out Delaware's borrowed statute, which requires state courts to determine the statute of limitations in both Delaware and the state where the claims arise, and apply the shortest time limit of the two, arguing that the Macrons suffered their harm in their domicile of France, where he contends the statute of limitation is limited to 3 months rather than Delaware's 2 years. So Chandler asserted the couple's entire claim is time barred. Okay, let me start that again. Arguing that the Macrons suffered their harm in their domicile of France, right? Where he contends the statute of limitations is limited to 3 months rather than Delaware's 2 years. Chandler asserts the couple's entire claim is time barred. Okay. That's interesting. I don't remember the timeline of when, but Candace had said things within the 2 months that they sued her. If it's, or 3 months, I'm sorry. She had said things before. If they sued her in 25, she had been saying crazy stuff up to that point. I don't understand. I feel sorry for that judge. She's going to have to figure that out. I believe that I don't think that's the case at all. It's clear, Chandler told Renee, the domicile is controlling. Renee, however, did not appear to see it as clearly, questioning whether the location in which party makes its claim could determine jurisdiction. Still, the judge recognized implications of Chandler's claim. If it's France, it's a wrap, Renee said. If it's France, it's a wrap. As much as I'm sitting here pondering this, as much as I'm sitting here trying to figure out exactly who is in control, I'm going to show you in a moment. I think Candace knows that this is not going to go in her favor, even though this is like for us as pre-K law students, us people that don't know what's going on fully. I think Candace knows more than we do. And I think she knows this isn't going to fly. But let's continue. Also taking a stand for Owens, attorney Catherine Mowry argued that even if Delaware does qualify as proper jurisdiction, Owens should be removed for lack of personal jurisdiction as she lives and works in Tennessee, not Delaware. Okay, they're trying that argument. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Let's see how that goes. I don't think that has any case. I don't think that has any footing, in my opinion, from listening to people like Nick, listening to the Beard lawyer and others. I don't think there's any, I don't think she has any case there. While Mowry claimed the Macrons did not significantly tie the two entity defendants to Owens as either alter egos or agents, Renee noted that greater access to internal documents would likely be necessary to do so in the first place. Oh my gosh. Oh man, they're going to talk about, they're going to need more documents. This is going to be a mess. They haven't alleged that because they don't know, Rennie told Mowry, does that open the door for jurisdictional discovery? No, Mowry replied, insisting the Macrons filed to build a prima facie case and noting that they can't go fishing for evidence. Representing the Macrons, attorney Tom Clare sought to refute Mowry's assertions, claiming Owens' position is as sole controlling owner of Candace Owens LLC does in fact render it an agent of hers. Right. It's called Candace Owens LLC, for crying out loud. Okay. She doesn't just own these entities, Claire's added. She runs her entire publishing operations through them, including propagation of the purported defamatory claims. Right. This is her deal. I mean, it's not like it's called JWhit LLC. It's Candace Owens LLC, for crying out loud. I mean, why is it called Candace Owens LLC? I'm expecting her to be like Tiffany Henyard in a minute and be like, somebody just named it that. Okay, Rennie did not appear immediately convinced, however, questioned whether a Delaware organized online publication could even be understood as inherently conducting Delaware operations. So every time a Delaware business is doing it in Delaware. Rennie asked, I was like, okay, you know what? I can give her those questions. It seemed like she's asking good questions. I'd love to see all of it, but that's a good question. Rennie asked Claire, expressing concern over implications of creating such a legal precedent. Your Honor, I don't think you have to make such a broad ruling, Claire replied, again, attempting to pin Owens to the actions of the entity defendants, which I think is a great point. Okay, as soon as we can have access to the full thing, I would love to read the whole thing, because this is exactly this is kind of what I thought they were going to argue. So shout out to Claire, because he's thinking like me, either A, that's a good thing, or B, they're cooked. Specifically, Claire noted that in a 2020 defamation lawsuit filed by Owens herself against USA Today, I told you this was going to come back. I told you, I knew this case was going to come back. The USA Today case, I knew it. Owens both called Candace Owens LLC a pass-through entity and pursued claims in Delaware court. That's it. Shout out to Claire. You know what? I think Claire be watching my channel. I think Claire watches my channel. Y'all put Claire in the chat, because Claire is in the best live chat on the internet. I know it. I know it. Don't look. Don't argue with me. I'm telling you, Tom Claire be up in this live chat. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I saw him up in here. I told you. I knew this was going to come back. Goodness gracious. I got to find the clip of me saying that, because I said that. We followed her lead in bringing our claim here, Claire added, telling Rennie it would be incredulous. Ooh. Incongruous. I apologize. It would be incongruous. Shout out to incongruous for Owens to refute the case at Hand's jurisdiction. Also representing the Macron's attorney, Libby Locke, claimed Owens' statute of limitations considerations are moot, as U.S. law precludes and even considering French jurisdiction. Uh-oh, shout out. Okay, I didn't know that part. Shout out. Oh, the USA Today case. Oh, we'll talk about that. Under the 2010 Speech Act, it's illegal for U.S. courts to enforce foreign defamation law judgments unless that foreign jurisdiction offers at least as much free speech protections as the First Amendment. Okay, shout out to Libby. All right, Libby, I can get down with you, Libby Locke. Okay, noting that First Amendment protected speech such as insults can qualify as defamation, and that statements similar to Owens can result in jail time under French law. Locke argues that the French defamation regulations are too restrictive to be considered in U.S. courts. You cannot enforce that kind of judgment in Delaware or in Tennessee, Locke told Rennie. Tennessee and Delaware have an obligation to apply U.S. law. All right. Okay, the links to those two articles are in the description. I did not pull up the Candace Owens versus the case. So let me pull that up real quick, so we can kind of go over it very quickly, and then I'll do the last article, and then is this it right here? Where is it? I have it. Y'all pray for my file keeping over here. It's not the best. All right, is this it? Yep, here it is right here. All right, bada boom, bada bing. All right, just to kind of give you a little, somebody asked, what was the case between Candace Owens and USA Today? All right, thank you so much for asking. All right, so matter of fact, let me drop this in the chat too, so you can have access to it. I'm going to scan over very quickly, because I don't want to keep y'all super long. I know other people who are way smarter than me are going to be talking about this today or soon thereafter, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. All right, Candace Owens in her individual capacity and Candace Owens LLC, a Delaware limited liability company. This is Leeds Story, a Colorado limited liability company. And now notice she's suing them from Delaware. In Garnet, plaintiffs, make that a little bit bigger for you. Now comes plaintiffs Candace Owens LLC by and through counsel and states their complaint against defendants lead story LLC lead stories. I'm just going to skip down to it as follows. Maybe we should do that differently, Jason. That's terrible. Defendants malicious publication of false fact articles charging plaintiffs with spreading misinformation that C-19 pandemic on the internet in an attempt to downplay the severity of the pandemic. So she sued USA Today over what they said she said over the cough of 2020. And she sued them from Delaware. And so now it seems extremely interesting. Shout out to Claire in the chat. Y'all make sure that we look. I know her attorneys are part of the best live chat on the internet. So it did seem kind of odd that in the midst of that, she chose to say that she shouldn't be sued from Delaware when she sued USA Today from Delaware. So that was the case. It was over the C-19, the severity of C-19 and vaccines. I remember now specifically. So check that out. I'll put the link to that down in the chat and I'll put it into the description as well. Let us keep dancing because we got one more to go and then I got a video to show you where I think Candace is going next. What is she trying to, what's going to be her next move? So real quick, shout out Candace Owens and what is this? This is Bloomberg. Candace Owens disputes Delaware ties in Macron defamation case. All right, there's Emmanuel and Brigitte. We'll let that go. No commentary necessary. And there it goes right there. Podcaster Candace Owens argued Monday that the French president, Emmanuel Macron, seeks to avoid his country's statute of limitations on defamation claims by pursuing his lawsuit over her statements around his wife in Delaware. The only logical explanation in filing here is to take advantage of Delaware's longer statute of limitations of 2 years rather than France's 3-month limitations, Chad Chandler of Richards, Layton, and Finger, PA, representing Owens, said in a hearing in Delaware Superior Court. Okay. So because the argument is that, well, because France's defamation statute of limitation is shorter across the pond, they came over here because they want to take advantage of a longer defamation opportunities available in the 2 years here rather than 3 months in France. Got you. Owens seeks to dismiss Macron's lawsuit on prejudicial grounds, including that she has no personal connection to Delaware. Her brief supporting her motion to dismiss repeatedly refers to her broadcasting from the basement of her home in Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to the basement. Shout out to the basement folk. Macron's sued Owens in July 2025 over baseless conspiracy theories about them, particularly Brigitte Macron, the French First Lady, who's been purported by the podcaster as secretly transgender and a blood relative of her husband. The more you think about it, if you take the time and just step back and look at some of the accusations that Candace made over the Macrons, you'll see the very similarities between how she treated Erica. And if you look back at other instances as well, the more she digs in, the more ridiculous it gets. From, again, now, remember, Brigitte is supposed to be her brother who took his dying sister's identity and became her. Like, this is crazy story. But look what she's doing to Erica. Very similar, shameless, baseless, crazy conspiracies that are starting and ending in her own mind. I think there's something there. Let's keep it going. The couple isn't seeking French remedies for the claims. Their attorney said in the hearing, the lawsuit seeks unspecified damages, including punitive damages. Delaware, the corporate home to 2/3 of the Fortune 500, has become a primary venue for politically charged defamation cases in recent years, including a wave of litigation over President Donald Trump's false claim that the 2020 election was rigged against him. Well, I mean, it was, but business entities named as defendants in the Macron, Hold on, oh, wait, I'm not a subscriber. Oh, I didn't get the, oh, let me go. Okay, cool. Whew. I thought I had opened it up beforehand. Let's keep going. Business entities named as defendants in Macron's lawsuit were registered in Delaware by Owens because of protections available to them under state law, said Thomas Clare of Clare Locke LLP, representing the Macrons. All right, shout out to Claire. We know Claire's up in this chat. Y'all tell Claire. Y'all say Tom Claire in the chat. We know he's a member of the Best Live chat because I told him, I knew it. Tom, don't worry about it, brother. As long as, go ahead and win and just give me a little head nod, give me a little hat tip, and I'll let you get away with it. Don't even have to worry about dropping me a little love offering, Claire. Don't even worry about it, brother. Allowing Owens to exit Macron's lawsuit would produce an absurd result of allowing the podcaster to say, Delaware is good enough for me, but not for thee, Claire said. Yo, look, I'm here for this. I am here for this. I cannot wait to read this full thing because this is going to be ridiculous. I know it. Shout out to JT up in the building. What's going on, friend? There she is. There go my sister from another right there. Y'all pray for Q. She still went to Howard. Y'all pray for her. All right. These companies are the ones that actually publish the defamatory statements, he said. I cannot wait to read this. Owens may control the entities, but the lawsuit doesn't belong to Delaware because she's being sued in her personal capacity as a journalist, making alleged defamatory statements. She's not speaking on behalf of the company, said Catherine Mowry, also of Richards, Layton, and Finger. There's no allegation. She used her corporate power to make these alleged defamatory statements. Ma'am, are you for real? Okay, hold on. I want to see how she was able to say this without cracking up on are you for real? Be for real. There's no allegation. She used her corporate power to make these alleged defamatory statements. Ma'am, she is the entity. I know she's trying to do this, the limited corporation, but ma'am, she is the entity. She is it. It's not like she has a media conglomerate and somebody else is on her network. Maybe we could have that conversation. But she is the one. She is the name as well as the face and the product. She's the name, the face, the product. She's everything. Ma'am, go somewhere. Owens and Brigitte Macron listened to the hearing via teleconference, but didn't address the court. Judge Sheldon K. Rennie questioned the attorneys about whether French or Tennessee laws should apply in the Macron's case, and when a Delaware registered entity that doesn't have arms or legs can behave as its owner's agent, he adjourned the hearing without ruling on Owens' motion to dismiss. The Macrons are also represented by Farron LLP. Owens is also represented by Noah Balch Law PC and Horowitz Law PLLC. Good gracious alive. The case is Macron v. Owens, Delaware. Okay, we got that already. We already know that. Woo. Okay, this is gonna be the funniest. I think the funniest thing is she used her corporate power. Y'all, she used her corporate power to make the alleged defamatory statements. Shout out to Candace. How did she say that with a straight face? I need somebody to put her on this Maori on a stage doing stand-up comedy, because it had to have been a funny statement. She had to have been saying that with tears in her eyes, laughing at her own self. All right. So my question is, a lot of people have been wondering, I've been wondering this too, where's Candace going with this? What is she trying to do? And I believe that last week on her show, she was seeding the idea that she knows she's going to lose. She already knows she's going to lose this case. And it's not going to be financially beneficial to her. I believe that she already knows which way she already knows on what side her bread is buttered, if you will. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.